If you have ever thought about starting your own YouTube channel or using YouTube to grow your business, I have an incredible episode for you today. So, in case you didn't know, I started my YouTube channel a year and a half ago, and it has been one of the biggest drivers and increased my sales than anything else that I work on in my business. So, it's brought in more sales on my Instagram, it's brought in more sales on my Facebook ads, it's brought in more sales than anything that I work on in my business. And I've only had it a year and a half. And I wanted to introduce you to my own YouTube coach, Trena, and she is going to help us work out if YouTube is worth the time, what strategic things you need to know and remember and do and think about when you are using YouTube, because you're not wanting, if you're a business owner, you're not wanting just to create a YouTube channel for the sake of it, to get subscribers for the sake of it. You're wanting to drive sales. And that is so important to remember. And so we're going to look at how, the why, the everything in between, and maybe inspire you a little bit that maybe YouTube is something that you might actually have time for in your own business. Because Trina and I both have young families, like we're both doing the business owner, the parenting juggle, yet we both still have really successful YouTube channels. And I would love you to be inspired by our journeys as well. And if you don't know who Trena is, Trena is a YouTube strategist who has a master's degree in business and has been helping online business owners develop YouTube strategies for over 8 years now. Building YouTube strategies allows her clients to scale their business by driving more leads with evergreen videos and not needing to create daily social media content that expires after 24 hours. Being a busy business owner herself, she understands the importance of making videos simple and effortless, but effective and lasting. Her YouTube videos are her sales team, and they do the heavy lifting for free, and they're working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for her. Trena has over 54,000 subscribers and over 4 million views. And so join us for this episode and be inspired for what YouTube might be able to do for your business. Well, welcome, Trena, to the podcast. I am very, very excited to have you because not only are you incredible at what you do, you're also very inspiring for a lot of business owners who are feeling a little bit over a lot of the classic ways that we do promoting of our businesses. And so I'm excited to get your insights on all of the things YouTube. Obviously, I am very much into YouTube now myself. So I think the audience is going to find this very, very helpful, hopefully, and a bit inspiring. So I'm excited to have you.
Great. I, of course, always love talking about YouTube, so thanks for asking me.
And so before we get started, I want to ask you the question I ask all of my guests, which is, what does an average day in your life and business look like? I know that you're a mum and you're a business owner, so what does that actually look like behind the scenes for you?
Yeah, so with kids, it's different every day. Like today, we were thrown for a loop. The kids got sent home early for a pipe break, but typically they're on the school bus around 8:15 in the morning. And then I personally like to take a kind of a buffer zone. I didn't always used to do this. I went straight from mom to CEO hat. And so now I take about a 45-minute buffer where I do a sound therapy and then I spend some time reading to then get into work. And then, I'm working from 9 to 3:30 when the bus comes, and I'll be working on either responding to my clients, providing feedback on their YouTube strategy, their YouTube videos, creating my own YouTube content, working on my content, filming videos, and just mapping out, trying to envision strategies for my business. So it's hard to know exactly what I'm doing, but every week there's at least a video that I'm filming or a video that I'm scripting.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And then so kids get home and then I'm assuming you switch back into mum mode, and are you the
Oh,
person on
yeah.
dinners and cleaning and all of that kind of jazz?
I don't do the cooking.
Oh,
My husband does the cooking, and since it's fall here, we've got 3 nights of soccer practice, 1 night of golf, and then 2 nights of soccer games. So it's quite busy here. As soon as the bus comes, it's read. They have to read for a certain amount of time for school, get them ready for soccer practice, get dinner, and out the door they go. And when they're at soccer practice, that's my alone time. So I'm doing the podcast here tonight. Typically catching up on work in the evenings. I try not to. I try to do something fun, like watch trashy TV, but we're kind of in a busy time for the business right now. So I've just been trying to catch my breath.
yeah. Cool. That's so interesting. That is a lot of soccer. That is a lot of soccer.
Well, I have 2 kids.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, they actually have one day where practice overlaps. So one has practice Monday, one has practice Tuesday. They both have practice Wednesday. So
There you go. That's so interesting. I'm not in the extracurricular activities in my phase of parenting yet, and I'm very interested to see how that all goes because it seems pretty hectic. It seems really
It
hectic.
does, but then it's like if they're not in something, they're stuck at home with you. And
Exactly.
I have a boy and he just is a ball of energy. So he always is in something. So winter is then basketball, spring it's back to soccer, summer it's camp or golf, or he always has to be in something just to keep him active.
Yeah, that's so good. Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing a bit of that insight. I love that. I love that you attempt to not work in the afternoons, evenings, but you do. That sounds like me. Although that
Yeah.
is my main time to
Only
work.
when there's soccer, but I try.
We do our best. Amazing. Okay, so let's dive into all of the YouTube stuff. I want to set the scene. Why can YouTube work for us people that run businesses? Like I don't want to be a YouTuber, although like who
Mhm.
doesn't want to be a YouTuber sometimes? But I don't want to be a YouTuber. I want to grow my business. And so how can YouTube actually help with that? Why is it different or better than other social media platforms?
Yeah. So, I mean, YouTube is a search engine. I don't have to remind us of that powerful piece. But when people go to YouTube to search and use it as a search engine, they're looking for a solution for their problem when they're searching, meaning their mindset is ready to solve their problem.
Mm.
Whereas something like Instagram or TikTok, we're not, our mindset or the way we're going into that content isn't to find a solution to a problem. Whereas YouTube, if you're searching, you are. And so what's incredibly powerful is as business owners, we know what our clients' problems are. We know the questions that they're having. And so if we have a video that answers that for them while they're in that mindset of, I need this problem solved, and you show up right as they search it, it's pretty darn easy to start to get them to know, like, and trust you, especially since it's on video. It just makes that connection a lot faster.
That is such a good point. Like, I think we forget about that. I forget about that angle so much of the time. And like, even I'm struggling with Facebook ads at the moment because my YouTube audience is converting so much faster than my Facebook ad audience because my YouTube audience is ready to have the answer and I've got the solution for them. And that's such a great point. Okay. What about the longevity of the content? Can you share a bit about why it makes more sense to put effort into doing a YouTube video as it would to doing a reel?
Yeah, I mean, YouTube does live longer, but I want you to think about the algorithm on Instagram. What is their goal? Their goal is to keep you on that platform with short form content. So every time you see a reel, you're getting a hit of dopamine. That's why Instagram wants short form content to keep you going. YouTube is long form content, and you're going to be answering those questions that your clients have today, had 2 years ago, have 4 years from now. And so when you focus your time on that type of content, you start to build this video library on YouTube that's answering those questions that probably aren't going to go away. And then they can find you when they are having that problem.
Yeah, because I found like say I'll post an Instagram post and that will go well for sometimes a week even. I'm getting likes even later. Sometimes I get a random like a month later. But
Mhm.
what I'm finding really interesting about YouTube is that when I post a video, I'm getting more views on it a year later and more conversions from it a year later than I even was when I first posted it. And it's like it's just so interesting to watch videos go from like 100 views to like 50,000 views and it's still like
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything. I just put it up that one time and now it's still getting people converting.
Yeah, it's like that. It's I always use this graph that's used for compounding interest for banking. But it's the same thing with YouTube. When you publish your first video, it's going to get a certain amount of likes. And then you publish your second video, that second video is going to get likes, but that second video is also going to help your first video get views. And then the third video gets a little bit more views, but it's getting the second and the first video more views. So every time you post, you're compounding the views across your channel. And I know I have content from 2021, which is almost over 3 years ago, that still get me views and still get people signing up to my email list.
Yeah, that's wild. It's like because I think a big part of why people don't want to do YouTube, other than like, there's a few different, there's a lot of parts I think that are barriers to people
Yeah.
doing YouTube, but one of them is the effort piece of like I'm already doing this, and this, and this. I don't want to also be doing YouTube, but I guess what both of us have found in our YouTube journeys is that the effort that you put in, while it probably is a tiny, for me, it's a little bit more than the effort I put into an Instagram post, but
Mhm.
the longevity of the performance and the return that I get on it is like 100 times more than what I would get on an Instagram post. So the effort does come back for me.
Yeah, I think we forget to look at overall lifetime ROI of a post. And even with Instagram, I mean, a reel may take me less time, although the editing of a reel drives me bonkers. But you got to think about the amount of content. So yes, a reel
Mm.
may take you, I don't know, we'll be nice and say it takes you 30 minutes to create. But to get leverage on Instagram, see reach, see growth, you've got to be doing reels pretty consistently. Even if you're just doing it Monday through Friday, that's still 5 reels times 30 minutes a piece. That's over 2 hours. And I'm pretty sure you could bang out a YouTube video and edit it in 2 hours.
That's such a good point. And you don't need to do like 5 YouTube videos a week. Like one a week
No.
is fabulous. And so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay. That's such a
I
great
already
point. And
have you sold on YouTube.
sorry.
I already have you sold on YouTube.
I know. No, you don't need to convince me. It's like, and like, I'm still doing like, I know that you've made a bit of a jump from using Instagram very much for promotion. I know you've kind of just stopped it at the moment. And I'm still trying to do both, which is working
Mm.
okay. Like I'm repurposing my YouTube videos to use on my Instagram, which goes okay. And pretty much most of my Instagram at the moment is just go watch my YouTube, go watch my YouTube, go watch my YouTube,
Yeah.
because over there I actually talk to you for a long time. I can actually share the beginning and end of a whole thought rather than just like a really bitey kind of bit that's not really going to help people. Yeah. And so I'm trying to do both of these at the moment. And I think it's kind of good to almost, I'm kind of coaching myself now, to remind ourselves that we don't have to do all of the different platforms. We don't have to be on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We can just pick one or two of those and do those really well. And that's probably actually going to go better for us in the long term than trying to spread ourselves too thin across everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually just answered a comment on a YouTube video today, and it made me think, at what point did us as business owners think we were required to be on Instagram? Like, at
Mm.
what point did we think we could not have a business without Instagram? And so that just it made me think that I'm like, yeah, at what point did we think that we have to be on Instagram to grow our business when we don't? There are so many other different ways to do it. So that was interesting that thought just came up today.
Yeah. Okay. And so I know that you work with a lot of different clients. I know that you've been using YouTube for a long time for yourself. What success have you seen? Like, are there any like really cool stories, or like, can you give us like a motivational piece of like, this happened and then they sold this thing and like it was just really cool because of YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, two of my favorite stories are kind of opposite of each other. So one of my clients, I started working with her, she has about 200 subscribers, and in within a year of working together, she was over 100,000 subscribers. She's about to hit 200,000 subscribers. She sells low ticket ebooks and bundles, and she makes sales every day from her YouTube videos. And then another client, I just worked with her this year, and she had so much momentum on her channel within like the 3 to 4 months we worked together that she quit Instagram because she was getting more sales from YouTube and she could see that it was more YouTube. But she also booked a $9,000 brand deal for 3 videos on her channel. A brand paid her $9,000 to talk about their AI software for 3 videos. And so I was like, yes, and it's not a huge channel. I mean, I think she's under 30,000 subscribers, and she got a $9,000 brand deal.
Wow. That's so
Yeah.
interesting. Hey, I just love that you said that client was just the first one was just selling every single day just from YouTube. And I'm definitely selling every single week something from my
Yeah.
course. And it's not a cheap course. It's not like a $20 course. People are just seeing stuff and they're purchasing. And I was sharing in your community a while ago. I shared a win of the latest program that I sold, which is, it's kind of a medium ticket. It's not low ticket, but it's not like a high ticket, but it's pretty high. And I reckon at least 60 to 70% of the people that I had join that program, which hit my best goal of sales, was from YouTube. And like, I've had YouTube for a year and a half now, a year and a half. That's probably perfect actually. And just the way that people, as you say, like because it's video as well, people trust you so much quicker. And there's just this really great way to, they're already looking for the solution to the problem and you've got that solution and you just be like, here it is. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm ready for that. Like I'm primed, I'm ready, I'm warm, I'm keen, and I trust you. And they just hit that buy button. And it's just so interesting the quickness of the conversion. Like I really previous times I've sold this product, there was barely anyone that didn't have a previous pretty big conversation with to check if they were the right fit. Whereas only a
Yeah.
few of the people from YouTube needed any more conversation. The rest of them just purchased just like that. It was just so interesting.
Yeah, I today I had someone come straight from YouTube video and ask, "How can I get into your program?" And gave him the link, and he came directly from YouTube today. I not even on my list before, not even like a contact on my list before. Just found me on YouTube today, and $1,500 program in.
Yeah, that's so
Yeah,
wild, isn't it? It's so cool.
yeah.
Okay, and so if YouTube is something that anyone listening would like to kind of get started with, like how can we, how do we use it strategically? I know there's a lot of different things that you teach around that, so we don't have to know everything, but like what are some key things we need to remember when we're actually wanting to use this strategically for a business, not just for the sake of growing a YouTube account?
Yeah, I would say there's probably two big things that a lot of business owners do wrong that I think they need to realize. And the first thing is not understanding the right audience you want to attract. And I call this the ready to buy viewer. On YouTube, yes, there's a lot of people on YouTube. Is it saturated? Yes, for certain areas, more the beginner area, because anybody can create a beginner video, right? But as business owners, it's not the beginner that's going to be ready to buy from us. So somebody that's just starting YouTube isn't going to be ready to commit to work with me yet. Instead, I want to be thinking about that person who is doing YouTube, who knows they want to do YouTube. Their language and the problem they're searching for is more advanced. And I want that audience because once I can train YouTube, that's the audience I want. YouTube will keep putting me in front of those people. And those are the people that are going to buy from me. It may be less views, but I would rather get 100 views that send me 2 clients than like 500 views that send me no clients. So I think as business owners, the first thing they think they need to do is SEO a perfect title and topic so that they can get the most views on their video, and that's what's going to drive sales. But if it's not the right audience, it doesn't matter
Mm.
how many views if the right people aren't watching. And then I think the other thing that they don't realize is the title and the thumbnail is the most important part of the video. It is the marketing package of the video. And that needs to be determined before you craft any kind of content. Because if you can't come up with a title and a thumbnail that's going to get people to click, they're never going to see the content no matter how good it is. And so I really have to train so many of my clients. We plan the title and the thumbnail first, and then we script the video. A lot of people are usually uploading their video and then reverse engineering. What is the title going to be? If you want to see the best results on YouTube, you've got to have that marketing package determined before you craft the content.
Yeah, that's something I'm still working on because I'm like, yeah, I've got a great idea. And of course, people are going to want to watch this and listen to it. But it's like, no, actually, you've got to, it's still a platform where you have to let people know like why they should watch this. You have to get them over the line to commit to watching a 10, 20-minute video. And yeah, your
Mhm.
thumbnail and your title are really great for doing that. And like, it doesn't have to be perfect every time. You'll learn, you'll get better, you'll give it a go. And speaking of, I guess, starting out, like I think what scares a lot of people is, well, this is what scared me before I kind of bit the bullet and kind of got and kind of dove in is how do we keep going when we're not seeing results straight away in terms of subscribers and of people watching? Like, as you say, like it's relatively saturated. So how do we like
Mhm.
keep our mindset of like, let's just keep going. This is going to pay off.
Yeah. A lot of people ask, like, how do you do it every single week? And I wish I had like this super secret routine or checklist that makes me do it every single week, but it is the one piece of marketing that I do every single week. So it's just ingrained into me. I need to get a YouTube video out. Um, I would also challenge you if you're like, oh, YouTube is so slow, it's been so slow. if you were on Instagram, how slow was Instagram? And that content's expiring in a day or two. Whereas, yeah, maybe it's going slower on YouTube, but those videos will keep working for you. And I know there's quite a few clients that their first videos from their first couple of months that didn't get much traction, eventually 90 days, you know, 4 months in, take off, because YouTube just has to understand who you are for. So if you're not doing your job of explaining to YouTube with the content you're creating, all the data you're giving it, YouTube's just going to throw your videos out to random people hoping somebody likes it. And there's where the slow momentum is going to happen. But if you can really nail down your ready to buy viewer and create that content specifically for that person, that will also help kind of change the tide and the momentum.
Yeah, that's such a good point. And like, as you said, like at the start there of you just make the video every week, or like for me, it's 2 videos every week at the moment, but it's like this idea of I'm just going to do it. And like you say, like eventually it will, even if that video only gets 10 views, that probably
Mhm.
won't always be the case. It will once you kind of, once YouTube starts to understand you, once people start to find you, it'll change, and it won't be, I have this big, like, it's a personal thing of like wasting time or wasting effort, but it's not really
Mhm.
going to be doing that. Like eventually, like videos that I made ages ago, that they're working. And what do you say to this idea of perfectionism of I have to have this video 100% perfect. I have to have my camera 100% perfect. I have to have my background 100% perfect before I can get started.
Yeah. I do want to say something about another way to think about doing it consistently is my YouTube
Yeah.
video is also my weekly email. So if
Yeah.
I don't do my YouTube video, I'm not showing up for my email list. And it allows me to give them something of value every single day. I mean, every single week, every single day is wild. But it allows me to show up, remind them who I am, and build trust with them with valuable content every single week. So even if the videos are only getting a few views, you're still nurturing your email every week. So I did want to say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And then I lost, what was the question?
Perfectionism of like making,
Perfectionism.
having things
Okay.
perfect. Yeah.
So funny enough, when I started, I came from a government job, MBA. I felt like I had to be professional on video. And one, they are super cringy in the beginning, but it just didn't let me be me. And so my channel did take a while in the beginning to pick up because I wasn't being who I really am. And then the more I let myself talk the way I talk with my hands moving, the more I just let my mistakes in. And actually, more recently as well, like in the last year, I've even let my guard down more to be more of me. And I've had more responses, more followings than I have just like talking about being a Swiftie, which is something I wouldn't talk about because that's personal and not business. But you've just got to let people see who you are, because this could be a whole nother topic, but with the rise of AI, right? So much of it is now taking away that human connection. And people just want human connection. People just want to talk to real people. And if you try to be like this perfect robot, there isn't that personal connection. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I've posted videos where lipstick was on my teeth. I've had kids walk into my videos. You could hear kids screaming, the lawnmower. But that makes you a human and makes you a real person.
Yeah, I love that. And I think like there was a time where I shared a video where, so every week I record my video and then I give it to my editor to edit. And I'm not rewatching my video at all. I just get the file and I just pop it in the thing, and he just takes it. Mainly because my computer doesn't actually like my video file, so I can't even preview it to check it actually looks fine. I'm just like, YOLO, see what happens. It's all fine. There was one video where I recorded it and he got to editing it like 2 days before it needed to go live. So I didn't have time to re-record it. And he's like, Jacqui, your lights are flashing. And what he meant was I had the wrong camera settings on my camera and the lights behind me were flickering for the whole video. And it's super duper annoying. Like, I don't know that I could watch it. But that video I'm just checking now has 104,000 views. It's my second top performing video. It's
Yeah.
performed over 100 times better than my normal videos. And people still watch the content because it was good. And if I had have said, you know what, let's just skip that video. I can't re-record it. It's too bad. We'll just whatever. Then I wouldn't have
Mhm.
got that. I probably earned quite a bit of money from that one as well. And it's like,
Yeah.
what? It didn't have to be perfect. And while there's 1,000 people that comment on that video, which probably helps for engagement. I'm not really sure how YouTube engagement works, but
Yeah.
they're commenting like they'd like to flicker. And I'm like, you know what? I know that. Obviously
Thanks
it
for
wasn't
commenting. Thanks for
intentional.
boosting my engagement.
Oh my gosh. And so like every time I'm like, yes, I know it wasn't intentional. I know it doesn't happen on the other videos. Like it's anyway, I've re-recorded that video since and it's doing pretty good as well. Actually, it's already got 24,000 views. And it's
Nice.
like, it's just this idea that it doesn't have to be perfect. Like while it's good to improve, while it's good to make things better, to do it the best that you can, it doesn't have to be perfect every single time. And like you said, like your example, the lipstick and dogs and kids, it's life. And some of my other videos that go really well are the ones where I was wearing my baby when he was like 2 months old. And people are like, oh, I love the baby. I didn't even notice the baby. Oh, there's a baby there. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. And it's just that, again, it's that human connecting point. It's like, I'm not being polished and perfect all of the time. I'm a person who has a baby and I need to record a video. So here we are.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people overthink what their setup should be because you're only seeing the square. You're not, I just wrapped my launch last week, right? So I've got paper scattered here that I haven't picked up, and I've got pens, and I had a kid in here homesick. So his stuff is scattered over there, paint left over, like a paint tray left over from when I painted here. So you're only looking at this little square right here. And a lot of people overthink that they need to have this entirely perfectly polished space, but it's just a little square. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true. Like I tell people all the time, like my wall is just here. Like I'm touching it right now.
Yeah.
All I've got is a picture and some lights. And like on my desk, yeah, there's chocolate wrappers, there's baby toys. This part
Yep.
of the room you can't see. My husband's desk is a nightmare, but you don't know that. It's just a
Yeah.
little perfect little picture. And like even if it's not a perfect little picture, even if it's just a plain white wall or something that's just there, it's still you sharing your stuff and getting people and getting out there in the world.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I thought of another question and now it's left my brain. So we're going to just skip that. um,
Dang.
do you have any final, like just encouraging bits of advice for business owners that I've got a lot of people that are thinking they've seen my success on YouTube and they're like, should I dive in? Is this something that I should actually do? Like, that's a question. Is it for all businesses? Like, are there some businesses that it probably won't really work for in terms of like, I've got photographers, I've got coaches, I've got jewelry makers, I've got like, what kind of businesses work on YouTube?
Before I was 100% in my business, I worked for another YouTube strategist, and the the different types of niches that I worked with would blow your mind of what works on YouTube. I don't know if I've yet to find a niche or a business that wouldn't work on YouTube yet. If you want to stump me, you can. I've worked with everything from, science channels to space channels to off-road jeeping to hypnosis to learning the guitar, knitting, like so many different niches. And as we continue to become a more, I don't want to say segmented world, because this is coming from a topic from a conference I was at where everybody used to watch the same TV shows because that's all you had to watch, right? But now there's Hulu, there's Netflix, there's HBO, there's all of these different things. So not as many people watch the same thing. So a lot of people don't know what other people are talking about. So it's more fragmented. That's what I'm saying. And the more fragmented we become, the more important your niche becomes because people are looking for their special niche to check out and watch. And that is really, as cliche as it is, the riches are in the niches. It's because when people find that community they've been looking for that they thought nobody else did, they're sold. They become a loyal follower, watcher, subscriber. And so even though you may not be sure if it's right for you, if you have a business and if you have any type of community or you're selling anything, I think YouTube is going to be incredibly important. And in 2025, I mean, YouTube it's just going to become more, I don't even want to say YouTube's more popular, but it's become more embedded into our culture. More and more people are watching YouTube on their televisions. That was a stat
Yeah.
this year that more and more people are watching YouTube on their televisions, which means they're watching more of it. So if they find your content, they're watching more of your content. the creator economy is going to approach trillions of dollars, meaning you have the opportunity for, like my client, brand deals and sponsorships, because brands and businesses know YouTube is a solid investment. Those videos will continue making money for them years to come as well. And so there's just so much with YouTube that I think you won't regret it if you take the time to just start with YouTube.
Yeah. And do you recommend for someone just starting, like just diving in, or should we do like some thinking and research and stuff first, or should we dive in and do the research later? Like, is there an ideal kind of way that we should structure our setting up of the whole thing?
I think the best thing to do is to think about that person that's just about ready to buy your offer. What are the problems that they are having? And then do videos on those problems. Or what questions do they have before buying with you? And then answer those questions. Those are a great way to get started. Because I don't want you to start with like how to beginner's tutorial on X. You don't want to be focused on that. You want to be focused on the questions that person has right before they click the buy now button.
Yeah. Yeah. Great advice. I love that. And that will give you like a few different video ideas. You don't have to have like a whole year of videos planned. You just have to have the first couple, and then you'll start to get more ideas, and you'll see people commenting. Your brain will start to think in YouTube videos. And like we said, like that content can then be used on your email list or on your Instagram or anywhere else you're doing stuff. It can kind of be like the king piece of content, and then you repurpose it out everywhere else, and then you're good to go. And yeah, I'm really enjoying the process. And yeah, thank you for sharing those insights. How can we get in touch with you? How can we connect with you? How can we learn from you?
Yeah, obviously YouTube. You can go
What
to
is your
YouTube
YouTube?
and search my name, or just trenalittle.com/YouTube. That's basically where I'm hanging out. And like I said, I am taking time off of Instagram. I'm not necessarily committing to posting, but if I want to show up on stories, I'm not saying I can't. So YouTube. And then if you're wondering how I structure my videos, you can actually buy my game plan, my YouTube video game plan template at trenalittle.com/video plan.
Right. So it's always hard to remember the right
Remember
URL.
that link.
I'll pop that in the show notes too for everyone. So if you're looking for it, just
Perfect.
click that link. Amazing. So
Yeah.
thank you for joining us today. I so appreciate your insight. And yeah, I think it's such an underrated platform. I'm excited for people to kind of dive in and get that success for them.
Thank you. I loved having the conversation about YouTube with you.
So I hope you found that episode so useful. Make sure you jump onto Trena's offers there. She's got some great content that is really specific for business owners, because there's a lot of how to grow your YouTube channel on YouTube, but less as targeted at actual business owners wanting to grow their business through YouTube. And so I think you're going to love what she has to say. And if you haven't already, make sure that you subscribe to my own YouTube channel. My handle is Jacqui Naunton if you are listening on the podcast. And I'm really excited for you to join us here. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and feel free to share it with your business buddies. And maybe you guys can work on YouTube together. Maybe you can keep each other accountable to maybe posting one video a week and seeing where it takes you. Be inspired, enjoy, and have fun. See ya.